Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? So we're here at 8 p.m. EST. The Martine show has started. We're gonna have Shaquan Hoke tonight, who's coming back on the Martine show to talk about her new book release. It's a brand new anthology that is called Rising of the Crown Glory. So Shaquan is on. So for those of you who don't know, the Martine Show basically comes on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 8 p.m. EST. And tonight we have the lovely Shaquan, who is on board with us to promote her book. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you see me?
Yes, I can. Can you see me?
I'm sorry, the lighting is I switched places, so
The lighting is
it
good.
looks a little different. It's
Yeah,
good for you?
yeah, it's
Okay,
good. You're
okay.
good. Nice and shiny, girl. But first and foremost, how are you today?
Well, I'm doing very well. I'm just really excited about all that's happening, all that's going on, and we're reaching the finish line to start promoting the book. So I'm just really, really excited for everything that's happening right now.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I'm super excited as well. As you know, today it's an emotional day in many different ways. So
Oh yeah.
we're
And
here.
that's exactly what I mean too. Not just
Yes,
stuff that's going on with me,
yes,
you
all
know, the
together.
news today, breaking news.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a very touching, emotional type of moment for us Black people, for our Black men. It's important. So I'm glad we're on the same wavelength. Want to get that out there because it was a bit for me. It really was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, absolutely.
yes. So on that note, we're gonna go in and you're gonna introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there with the conversation.
Sure. So, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Shaquan Hoke. I'm the founder and CEO of Beyond a Job Incorporated. I also have another company called Lock in Love. That's LOCNLOVE. And I'm just really excited to be in this space where I have the ability to share my gifts to the world and giving people the opportunity to share their stories and let them know that just because you're doing something new and unfamiliar doesn't mean that you can't step into the space and create your own platform. So, there's many anthologies that I've been a part of. So this is my very first anthology that I am the visionary of. And I'm just really excited to, be here and to be able to talk about that and the process. So
I'm
let's get
excited for
started,
you.
Martine.
I'm excited for you, okay? Because I know what it feels like to create your own anthology. Like, it's okay to be part of other anthologies. I mean, by all means, an author's an author. But when you create your own anthology, that's a whole different ballgame. It's okay to create your own book because you already have your own book. But
Yes.
the anthology, there's a lot of work that goes into playing
Woo!
that. Okay? Talk about coordination, cooperation, consideration, not only for yourself, but for others. And then if you have
All
people,
that.
if you have
All of
what?
that.
If you have people who have yet to be authors, you got to coach them. Girl, we gonna talk about it.
All right.
We gonna talk about it. Okay? It's not that
Yes.
simple. It's not that easy. So anybody who takes it upon themselves to take leadership in that matter, I congratulate everyone. I congratulate everyone because I still have yet to come back to that part. I'm still, enjoying the one that I have out there, that I've created. I'm enjoying selling the ones that I participated in, and doing
Yes.
things. But To create a new one now, first of all, I have to think very hard to know exactly what I really want to put out there because so much have transpired in my life, you know.
Mm,
So
mm-hmm.
I really don't know where to begin with that. But like I said, I congratulate you again for coming back around and now anthology style. So you went full circle, honey.
Whew. And we're still not finished yet. The launch date is May 6th. There's still works to be done, but we're
Absolutely.
almost there. We're almost there.
Absolutely. That's what I tell people. I was like, listen, you see a lot of people doing a lot of things out there. Just remember, it includes work, a lot of work, real,
Mm-hmm.
real work. Okay. It's not just glory posting here and there. No, it's work.
Yes, absolutely. And the more people that you have,
The more work you got.
that's the more work that you have to do. Because it's not just sometimes that you can just say something one time and then that's it. It never goes that way. You
Yes,
have to have a lot of patience. Yeah, and
absolutely.
different personality types.
And you know
So
what?
it's like being a teacher.
Yes, yes. It's on both sides. You're being a teacher and you're also being a student at the same time.
Absolutely, because I'm still most definitely learning.
Yes, yes. It's a
I'm learning the process as I go along. I thought I knew, but they're teaching me that yeah, I still have some learning to do and some fine tuning, but it's okay though. We're gonna rock anyway.
absolutely. And you know what? Every project brings you to another level. You know, you reach another plateau on every project. And what people do not understand is that you are not the same person you were when you did your very first book. You're not going to be the same person doing this one right now. And after this one
Right.
is done, you're not going to be the same person at all. Because you're going to be with a whole different allure, you know, as being the creator of an anthology. It was a
Yeah.
whole different space when you created your first book. Like think about that vibe.
Mm.
Now you created your own anthology. Like you have a tribe. You got your team with you. You know what I mean? It's people don't understand the vibe.
No, no, they have no idea. They just see
No.
the pretty pictures that go up, the pretty postings and the banners, but they have no idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not easy being a leader, period.
Tell them.
It's not easy being the first, period.
Tell them.
You know?
Tell them. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, now you guys see that since 2020, I've been on video and I'm on constantly on video, either here, YouTube or Rizzle, wherever, Clapper. But for the past week and a half, I had to pull back and take a break because
Mm-hmm.
being a leader, being on video is a whole different ballgame than just posting. Like you can see me post on Instagram and stuff like that, but it's not the same thing as creating a video. When you create a
Right.
video, it's your emotions are out there, like you're out there. It's a whole different vibe. And there are times where you just need to like
Yeah.
take a break. You need that break point, and then come back. You come back stronger, but you got to be able to pull back. And it's not easy. Not easy
Yes,
at all.
I recently took a break on Saturday after I had an unexpected class. Well, it wasn't unexpected, but I actually had planned to have a meeting in with my group of authors, on Facebook to kind of check in and, do some housekeeping things. And then I realized, oh my gosh, I forgot I scheduled a 5 hour class
Mm,
that day. So then that required me I had my first lady to put out a post
hmm
and let the group know that I had to, cancel that
hmm
live with them on Facebook so that I could attend my 5 hour class. And then after the 5 hour class, I was done. I,
Yeah.
I had to take a couple of days to regroup. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go in on Tuesday and just do a live, even if no one joins, so that they can get the gist of what the next steps are, so we can, continue to move forward. So it is a lot of back and forth communication, visual. Um, Verbal, email, Zoom, different forms of, communication at different times. So, and then sometimes you have to take time to do one-on-ones because some people don't grasp it all the time, like right
Mm.
then and there.
Yeah.
So then you just have to, schedule out the time that works best for you and your author so that everyone can, feel supported. That's the whole giant thing around creating anything that you're teaching and creating, and you're stepping into new territory, or you're bringing others into a new area that they've never been in. You have to have a lot of patience to be able to explain things in different ways, to be able to teach in different styles, because we are different learners, audio, visual, and what's that, hands on. I know there's another term for it, but I can't get it right now. I'm tired. My brain is tired.
Hmm.
I literally just finished writing a couple of things, and then I just had to put the computer down. Like, thank God that, I have my son around me, because sometimes he has to remind me, Mom, you didn't eat anything today. Here's some food,
Mm.
So
Hmm.
I get really engrossed in my work when I start writing, and then doing those other administrative duties.
Yes, a lot of administrative duties when it comes to leadership altogether, but when you create your anthology and you are responsible for a group of authors who are under you, although your name is the primary name that's on the outside of the book, but every
Hmm.
author has a primary space within the
Hmm.
anthology that makes the anthology what it is, because every story is valuable, and there are people who become first time authors in that particular way.
Yeah.
That's how I started back in 2015. You know,
Hmm.
many people started that way, and it's beneficial. It's a great way to step out and start your authorship career, I would say, or journey. You know,
Absolutely.
anthologies open the doors for a lot of us, especially in women empowerment. You know.
Yes, and I love I think this is a great opportunity for anyone, and this won't be my last one, let me tell you.
Okay, girl.
Now I'm learning some things as we go along, but yeah, there's about to be another one happening.
Okay.
But we'll talk about that some other time.
So you know what that means, guys. She will be back on the Martine show. Okay.
Hello. Yes, I mean, although it is a lot of work and very time consuming, and it pulls on your patience, it pulls on your heartstrings. Let me tell you, some moments it required prayer. Let me
Oh
tell
yeah,
you,
girl.
it requires prayer. And I don't believe in doing anything without praying first.
Hmm.
That to me, that's the foundation of me. That's the thing that keeps me together. And this anthology, Rising Crowns of Glory, is really a platform not built for me, but it was built for the other women that decided to say yes. They decided to say yes, not to me, but for themselves. They said yes. And rising crowns of glory, meaning, we are God's chosen. And so when you're chosen, you're going to go through some stuff.
Mm.
Okay.
Hmm.
And some people out here walking in these streets make it look like, oh, I'm good. I didn't go through anything. Nothing nothing ever happened to me. But let me tell you, you just don't know that there are people who have been tried by the fire, and they make it look easy when they walk down the street. And I've heard that. I've heard people say that about me.
Me too,
Oh,
darling. Me too.
I never knew that. you went through all of these things until
Hmm.
they read my story.
Absolutely.
And so, although I had written my first book, The Audacity to Rise, and when I got the feedback from different people and from all parts of the world, I was like, you know what? I want to give an opportunity for other people to let their voice be heard.
Hmm.
Because how many times we're in spaces and we're helping to elevate other people, but are you really being heard? Do you really get an opportunity to say who you are, where you came from, what made you rise above your circumstances, and how did you get from there to where you are now? You really get an opportunity to express your vision and what made you who you are right now, what makes you you.
Hmm. Absolutely. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, it's the same thing with me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
There's a group of people, they're like, oh my God, I like what you're doing. You got this, you got that going on. And you make it look so simple. And I'm like, yeah, but I went to 21 years of fibroids. Would you like to trade places? Okay.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
Mm-mm.
like, seriously, like an award-winning book. Oh, how do I get that? I don't know. It happened because I told a heartfelt part of my story. This is where my pain and suffering is. But that's what
Yeah.
got recognized. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm like,
Yeah. Yeah.
that part of my life, I can't omit it because it has brought me pain and suffering, but it has also brought me glory. So at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, I have to embrace it. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why, like, I mean, I do the show here on Instagram where I interview people and I want to celebrate people, but on my other platforms, I have to have a space where I'm able to personally express myself as I am so that I could
Exactly.
have that space where I could release my emotions. Like my
Mm-hmm.
YouTube Faces of Uterine Fibroids is for me to express my pain and suffering and help people while I do it. You know,
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
it's kind of like the channel that I can kind of go and cry there if I really wanted to, so to speak,
Mm-hmm.
and like lay it
Yeah.
all out, because I have a crowd of people who need that because they're suffering, because I went beyond the suffering. But at the same time, there are times when I can't even make it there because
Right.
there are other things that I'm dealing with that's derived from what I went through that brought me
I
glory.
totally get it. I totally hear you. We live in a society where um, it's like you're not supposed to show your emotions. You're not supposed to show that you're not okay sometimes.
Hmm.
You're supposed to just walk around, everything is great, everything is wonderful.
Yeah, don't
And
show
there are
face.
some times that,
You know?
you just got to take a step back. Why? Wait a minute. I'm not okay.
Yes.
I'm dealing with this emotion right now. And sometimes you have to sit there in it.
Mm,
And I'm not saying live there, but sometimes you have to sit there in it and acknowledge that this is where I am. And so, Rising Crowns of Glory is a platform for the authors that decided to say yes to themselves to show that yes, they have went through several different things in their lives, but they rose
mm,
above that. And when you think about a crown, you think about something that before you put it on your head, it was sitting on something, maybe a nice mantle, right? With the light shining on it. And then for someone to receive that crown, you have to lift it up, right? You have to lift up that crown. You lift it up and you place it here on your head. So I thought of the title, Rising Crowns of Glory, just seeing that analogy and thinking about how God rose us up
mhm,
from where we were in the periods of transitions in our lives. And somehow, some way, he gave us the tools that we needed so that we can recognize first where we were and then learn how to use the tools that he put before us and within us to rise from that position into the glory, which gives him the glory and the honor because we went through. And so we are like, we're that testimony to other people. And that's not when he gives you the opportunity to rise above your particular situation. That testimony is not to be hidden. It's supposed to be shared
Mm.
because someone else is going through something similar to what you had uh, the blessing to be able to overcome. Someone somewhere can relate to what you have overcame. Like I will tell my story until my eyes are closed and I can't open it no more.
Mhm.
Me being a homeless mother, single mother of 5 at the time, I didn't just wake up one day and end up homeless. There were certain things that transpired in my youth which led up to me becoming homeless. And the first thing was me not believing that I was worthy to have more. Me not believing that I'm a beautiful woman in my own skin and with my own natural hair texture. I felt that I had to be some chameleon and blend in and hide in spaces. Down and it affected my relationships because I attracted relationships based upon where I was emotionally and
Mhm.
spiritually at the time. And also experiencing childhood trauma and not those situations not being addressed, carrying that all the way through adulthood affected each and every aspect of my life and the decisions that I made at the time. So it is important for you to share your story so that you may touch someone else. You never know. Your story is for God's glory, and whoever opens that book and reads your story, you can stop someone from taking their life.
Yes, indeed.
That's how powerful your story can be. You can stop someone from giving up all hope. You can stop someone from looking at themselves as if they're worthless and give them hope and empowerment. That's why it is important to share your story. So this collaboration is a work that was laid on my heart, and I want to tell you from the beginning that I went to my mentor, Tamika Hall, and I expressed to her I wanted to do an anthology. Now, the first original concept was a little different, but you know what? It's funny when you tell God you're going to do something, and He's like, "Oh yeah, that's what you're going to do? Okay, you done? Now let me
Mhm.
tell you what you're going to do."
Exactly. That's your plan, but I'm gonna tell you my plan. Yeah.
Right, right.
Mhm.
So, my plan originally was to have a group of women to talk about self-esteem and what their hair, how their hair and their natural hair texture affected them in different spaces, and what did they do to overcome that, or how are they dealing with that? That was the first idea of the anthology that I had to get other women's perspective on beauty and hair texture and things like that. However, as I normally do before I do anything, I always go into prayer and ask God to lead me in a direction that He would have me to go in so that I can make sure that I'm making an impact based upon the message that needs to be delivered. So I asked God, tell me what that looks like. Show me what direction I need to go in. And it changed. Then my narrative changed. He was like, it's not about your hair texture and your skin color and self-esteem. Yes, that is a part of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not solely based on your outward aesthetic, how you look. Okay. So he had me to go deep, similarly to how I wrote Rising Crown, similarly to how I wrote The Audacity to Rise,
Mm-hmm.
which was my very, very first book. And whew, you talking about somebody scared, nervous,
Mm-hmm.
anxiety on high. Oh my goodness. I was like, but that's been done before. But, who's going to want to write this story because I asked them to? Like, who's going to sign up to be a part of this anthology? Like, and then the other thing is, I have this thing about asking people for money.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because
But I
anthologies are not
know,
free, people, okay? They're not free.
hello,
Okay?
hello, and listen, when I put out the call to action, I stepped out on faith, literally, because I'm usually the one that doesn't like to be seen. I don't like to be put like on a spot or be pushed forward, but this required to do all those things
Hey, you
that
want to
I don't
be,
like to do.
you created an anthology. You're right in the forefront. That's exactly what happened
Hello.
to me. That's what happened to me. Okay? And, I tell everybody, if I got the calling for me to do my book and I was in recovery from my surgery. And it's like, oh, this is what you're going to do. This is how it's going to go down. And I'm like,
Mhm.
wants to talk about fibroids. Like, really? Oh,
Right.
well, I didn't know that it was going to turn out to be what the way it happened. But it turned out to be the award-winning piece. Hey,
Yeah.
listen to the
And
calling.
oh my goodness. My anxiety was like through the charts, off the charts. Okay. Um, so I have methods that I use that I cope with that. Um, but it definitely has been an amazing, amazing journey. And I'm very thankful that I did not give up, that I pushed through
Mm-hmm.
fighting against my own self,
Yeah.
my own mind, my own feelings, because this was bigger than me. This was bigger than me. Because if it was just about me, no, ma'am, no, sir, I would not.
You would have been like, look, I'm good. We're done.
Right, right. I couldn't think of other things to do than put myself out there on the spot every day,
Yes.
and everyone asking me questions and challenging me and making me pivot. And yeah,
Wait,
I could think of a million things, other things that I could do.
throughout the process, did you feel like you were going from one test to another test and another test and another test? It's like, look, the book is not even out yet. Like, we don't even, what's the testimony part?
Yes. OMG. Martine.
No, because we all go through it. It's people do not understand like there's so much work that goes into it. I mean, you got to even think like logistic wise for yourself. You know, you have to think like not only for yourself, but you're also thinking for other people. You have to step in other people's shoes. You hold space for
Yes.
yourself as well as other people. That's not simple and easy. It's not. And there are days you don't want to show up, but you got to show up.
Whew. Listen. There were days I just wanted to slink underneath my cover
Yeah,
and put it over my head and pretend this never happened.
exactly. It's,
I just wanted to hide in my comfortable space.
I could imagine. I really
But
could.
I could not. I could not. I always had to step outside of myself and focus on the task at hand. It's like, okay, God gave me this mission. I must complete the mission.
Yeah.
I have to put myself in that frame of mind. And then I'm like, okay, who do I need to help today? How can I help them? How can I do this better? So I would ask myself, those types of questions. Um, how can I make sure that what I'm saying is communicated clearly? Because sometimes you could be in your own head, be like, oh, I said XYZ, they'll get it. But
No,
no, no.
you said it for you, not for them.
Right, right.
Trust me, I
So
know.
sometimes I would have to go back and ask in a different way. Did you understand what I said?
Yeah.
Or does anyone have any questions? And sometimes, people they don't want to right then and there and say, well, I don't understand, because sometimes you may feel embarrassed. It's kind of like when you're in a classroom. You don't want to always tell the teacher, no, I don't understand what you're saying. So you may just wait until nobody's around, nobody's looking, and then, inbox or,
Yes.
something like that. Can I talk to you for like a few minutes, or can you go over XYZ again? And so, yeah, I had to realize that, um, that's people's different learning styles. And I remember when I was that person who didn't like to be raising their hands and didn't like to be asking questions. And oh man, you want me to do another Zoom meeting? Oh, I don't really want to show my face right now. So I'm just going to put up my picture and be hanging out in the back.
You can hear me but not see me.
Right,
I know.
right.
I know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
so I always think with my authors in mind, and I remember how I was. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay. Mm,
But you know what? Doesn't it feel like the time that we started our authorship? I know for me, I mean, I started in 2015, and looking back now, I feel like it's so ancient. Like it was just like right there, but then at the same time, when you think about it, because it's where our mindsets were, where we were. I felt like I was like a little girl back then
mm,
to like where I am now. It's just the things I say now and the way I configure things and the way I understand things is totally different from
mm,
when I started with Chocolate and Diamonds for the Women's Soul in 2015, not knowing anything about even marketing, even
mm-hmm,
knowing how to put myself out there,
mm-hmm.
not knowing that I need to have my own link to make my own money with my book, you know,
OMG. Okay,
like,
and
like
listen,
all
listen.
these things. Oh my God. Like, how do you put yourself up? It was crazy. It was crazy.
Definitely a learning process. And not only do you have to have patience with the authors that are incorporated into the project, you also have to be patient with yourself
Oh my goodness. Yes.
and give yourself grace, because this is a new thing. So you are also adjusting not only to the process of doing the anthology, but you're also bringing new people along that have no idea about being an author and the processes behind it and the monetary fees behind promotion and having a graphic artist create your banners and having someone to do other side process projects for you that you have to outsource different things and the editing and the formatting. People only really see the end result and they think, oh, I could be a part of an anthology. So all I have to do is write my chapter. No.
That's a part, like
Right.
the little part,
That's part
actually.
number one.
That's actually a teeny weeny part, to tell you the truth.
Yes.
It
Yes.
really
What
is.
about your bio?
Yeah.
We have to introduce
Who's
you.
gonna
Like,
write that?
who are you? Who
Who
are
are
you?
you? What do you do? You know,
Right. Who are you? How can they get in contact with you? What do you want them to know about
about
you?
you. What are you willing to
And
share?
how you going to make this money afterwards?
Yes.
We're
People
not
don't
doing this just
understand.
to look nice and shiny on the front or back cover.
People don't
Yes, we're
understand.
doing this to put our message out, but at the same time, there's costs to this thing,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's timelines that have to be met, and I have to enlist several people to handle different jobs for different aspects of this publishing process. So it's not just dealing with the authors, it's also the people that you're contracting out to do other things for you as well.
Right. So a lot of coordination, a lot of organization.
Yes, 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 yes. Whew.
I want to take the time to acknowledge everybody who has come through. The chat room is lit. I see all of your comments. I know we're chatting away, but we do see you guys. So I just wanted to acknowledge everyone. Thank you so much for being on board. Thank you for supporting Shaquan Hoke, coming
Mhm.
out with her new anthology, Rising Crowns of Glory, right? Okay, I was going to make
Yes,
sure because I
yes.
get tongue twisters. That's just me. And she's back again, and she has other things that she's working on. So lo and behold, we know she's gonna be back again because that's just the way Shaquan is. Some people I do have that just do reversals. They just keep coming back because they just keep putting in work. I tell people all the time, if you keep putting in work, there will be a space for you. Just keep doing your thing, and that's it.
Yes.
So
Yeah, so I definitely want to let everyone know that if you visit my website, beyondajob.net, you will see the flyer to our panel authors meeting, which will be this Thursday at 7 p.m. So the link to the Zoom is on the flyer. I will be posting it on Instagram and my page as well. Just put in Shaquan Hoke and you will find me either on Facebook or Instagram. But we will be having our panel author discussion with the Vera Moore of Vera Moore Cosmetics, which she gracefully wrote our forward. So I'm really, really excited to have her with us again. I interviewed her a couple of weeks ago for her to
mhm.
tell her personal story. So she will be joining us along with the authors this Thursday, 7 p.m. on Zoom. So if you are following me, then definitely join the Zoom on Thursday. And Vera Moore has given us an exciting promotion. Uh, she says that anyone who decides to pre-order the hard copy on my website, that she's giving the customers 30% off on her cosmetic line.
Oh, sweet.
So that is awesome. Normally, I wouldn't promote getting a pre-order for hard copies
Hmm.
because there's a process to the way that I do things. But because Vera Moore is offering this gracious promotion to get 30% off on her products with proof of purchasing the book on my website. So if you want to go over to my website, it is beyondajob.net. Beyondajob.net. So if you decide you want to pre-order the book, you would just click on that flyer And on my website, it'll take you to pre-order the book. And the book is $19.99 for the hardcover. All right. So that's just pre-ordered. But we will be doing the promotion for May the 8th for when we're going to do our Amazon, which you can get the ebooks on Amazon. So that's really what's the focus right now. But like I said, if you want to take advantage of this opportunity, I encourage you to go to my website beyondajob.net. So Verimour has a very extensive cosmetic line, and also she has very, very vibrant colors in a palette. I remember she's actually one of the very first cosmetics lines that I tried when I began wearing makeup. And I don't really wear a whole lot of makeup now. I like to keep it simple,
Mm-hmm.
keep it natural. I want to still look like myself, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
Right. I know. I'm the same way.
I don't want to come out the bathroom looking like some whole other person. Then my husband like, who in the heck
Who
is this
that?
that came out of the
Who
bathroom? You
that
don't live
lady?
here.
I know. See, I know.
Yeah, and then you don't want like it all caked up and have so much on there that it's like, but you can't even go outside in the sun without it melting down. I
Yeah.
can't.
And the thing about
I
it, from wearing it so much, then you may not be able to not wear it anymore. Like you have to continue wearing it all the time because,
mm-hmm.
it's just too much.
Right, right. So I love I've tried her products many, many times. I still own some to this day. She came out with some new shades of lipstick. That's like my thing. If I don't wear anything else, I'll put on a nice lippy and
Yes.
just head out.
Yes.
I'll even let my eyebrows, the gray ones that want to pop out, the gray hairs in your eyebrow, I'll even let them show because I'm like, listen, this is what it is today, so we're just gonna rock with that, right?
Either you're gonna roll with me or you're not.
Right. So I'm like, look, you already start seeing the little grays popping up in my locks and everything. I was like, it's okay, y'all. I just want to be disrespectful right now, but we gonna just go ahead on and continue with our day.
Oh my goodness. We have so many beautiful comments. I want to take the time to read a couple.
hmm
Smiley Sandra, that's First Lady. She says it
Yes.
seems to take away from beautiful shine, your natural glow. So she's talking about the makeup. She also sent me a private message. It says, "This is beautiful. I love it. Thank you so much." That's really
Oh.
into you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your support. And let's see. Uh,
She's one of our authors, by the way, the first lady. So
Congratulations.
let me just explain to some people. When you hear first lady, you think of the first lady of the church and everything. No, that's not why I call her first lady. She is my first lady. That's the name that I gave my mom. So I don't say mom or mother like most people. I
She's
got to
so
be
special.
extra. And so, yeah, she's called First Lady. And the reason she's called First Lady is because she's the first lady in my life, and she's always been first to be there for me in every situation, through my celebrations, through crisis, through me learning, through me having to fight different battles. She's always been there first. And that's why I call her my first lady.
Awesome. I love it. It's so unique, and it sticks really well with her. Trust me, she is a first lady, guys. Seriously.
Yeah, I think I saw some other authors on here
Yeah,
as
Carmen is
well.
here. Carmen is
Yes,
here.
Carmen. Carmen is another one of our authors for Rising Crowns of Glory. Thank you for joining us.
We had
Who else is on here?
April Hicklin. April is
Yes,
one of
and
the
she's
authors also.
another.
Because I
Yeah,
know
she's
she's
another one of
scheduled
our
for
authors.
interview as well. I did see her name. So welcome
Yes,
aboard.
yes.
Welcome. Let me see. We have so many people here. Nali 478. I'm not sure if she's an author also, but welcome aboard, everyone.
Yeah, she's an associate of mine. She's awesome too. So I hope one day maybe she can tell her story next time.
Queen Rosie J, welcome aboard. Um, M Kiva Girl, welcome aboard. Unique,
Yes, thank you
Sarah
for
Pendeby,
watching, everyone.
GQ of those people came through. Dwayne Hurt, Productions, Deep Dimples, Coco 32. These names,
Yes,
I tell
yes.
you. Jaheim 876,
All right.
Mr. Bolden, Ice Music Queen,
All right.
Classy Edge. Let's see. All right. This is nice.
Nice,
Boom
nice.
Girls NYC is in the
All right,
building.
all right.
Yolanda Bradford, thank you so much for your support. Yolanda's another one that made a turnaround. You guys are doing all
Yes.
right.
Yes,
Okay.
I just purchased her book today when I saw a post a little earlier today. So I'm
Yep.
excited to look at that too. I'm always supporting other authors. I'm an avid reader, so I may not get to it like right away, but I like have a collection of books, and I always love supporting because that's what we do.
Exactly. And we've been doing it for a while. We've been doing it
Hmm.
for a while. I mean,
That's right.
I thought about it the other day and I was like, we need to take the time to acknowledge ourselves for not only like standing up to the forefront and sharing our story, but also being supportive of other authors who've been sharing their
Yes.
story. Because that's what we've
Yeah.
been doing. That's how we connected.
That's right. You're right. You're right.
That's how we connected. We
That's
all got
right.
together because somebody was writing something, wanted to support somebody else. And then we're like,
Hmm.
okay, so you support her, I support her, she support her, whatever. And then we all got together. Then it went into rounds. So now it's your turn. You went. Each person went, and then we all together, and we still here doing the
Yes.
same thing.
Right.
Oh, my goodness, I tell you, amazing journey, amazing. And you know what? Many of us don't even really like, have you ever taken the time to really look into it like I just stated?
Phew. Wow.
Like the thought of it,
I
think about
really
it.
have. It's amazing that once you support one person, how we're all connected in some way. Like someone knows someone that knows someone. And then when you actually put yourself out there and share your story, the opportunities are just endless. You
Yes,
know, even though you may be sharing your story, you may have a business and be an entrepreneur, and maybe you have a service or a product that you offer the world. And so you never know how this particular project of you sharing your story will propel you to either write your own full book and just expound on what you said in your chapter. And then you can get speaking opportunities behind just you being a co author in an anthology. The opportunities are just endless.
that's how it started off for me. And then it just developed and it just kept going. And
Yeah.
I'm totally grateful of my journey, with the
Yes,
good,
absolutely. I
with,
mean, I'm gonna tell you, you talking about somebody being a scaredy cat?
yeah, I was too. I really was.
Like, oh my God, I'm writing this. What is everybody gonna think? What they already was thinking.
Yeah, yeah, it's true.
It doesn't even matter. Like those that matter, you'll get connected to them some way somehow. And so I realized that I've always been a writer. When I actually sat down and put pen to paper, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm writing this story. But if I really, really look back on the years of my life, I've always been a writer. And I didn't realize it too as I went further back in my journey and just reading some things that I had written. I was like, wait a minute. I was actually a published author when I was in public school. that was actually my first part, my first works of writing being in, um, I was entered into a contest with a book of poems. We all had to write poems,
Mm-hmm.
and it was a worldwide contest that I entered in. Um, my poem came in third place worldwide,
Nice.
and it was entered into a book with everyone else's poems in there. And I wish I could remember what was the name of the book and everything. I mean, I was only in, grade school, but I didn't realize that even back then I was already an author. I was already a writer. But
Mm-hmm.
when challenges happen and you're going through adolescence and then life and adulthood, you forget about those things that made you who you are, that things that you love. And I realized that once I came back to myself, that I love writing, I love reading, I'm a creator, and I have other gifts that I have not shared with the world as yet. Like, I love to draw, I
Mm-hmm.
love to sing, and I'm not saying I'm going to drop an album tomorrow, but these are the things that, make me who I am. I love music, I love creating, and it made me see why when I tried so hard to fit in and be like everyone else, I just could not. Because God just told me, hey, I didn't make you like that. I didn't
Same,
make you to fit in to
same here.
everybody else's agenda.
Same here. One question I want to ask you is really important to me is to know, like, when you finally got the thought and God was like, listen, you're going to and go deeper into introspection for this particular book, Rising Crowns of Glory. Did you go through any form of anxiety at a certain point, trying to write like your piece of your story?
Absolutely. Every time, every time I write my story, it's never the exact same way. I may have some same pieces in there, but it's always something that's added to it. And each and every time that I share a part of my story, yeah, because in order to write your story, it's kind of like you are traveling back in time
Mm,
to that person that you were back then. And that door that you're opening, it releases that residual energy that you thought was going away forever.
mm,
But when you revisit that door, when you knock on the door and open it, it's like, oh my gosh, I thought I was over this. And I really had to pray. And if I know that if I was going through that, I know that my authors also would experience some of those feelings as well. And so in my coaching, I made sure to prepare them that once they start writing, to be prepared that you're going to start seeing things happen to you in your life. Things you're going to have be challenged with things coming at you left and right because it's adversity that doesn't want your story to go out there.
mhm,
And not only on the outside, you're going to experience inwardly battling with your own emotions, battling with things that you thought that you had gotten over, or things that you thought really didn't affect you. But then as you go deeper into that writing process, yeah, it's very awakening and then therapeutic at the same time. So yes, I did experience that anxiety, moments of pain, moments of hurt, moments of anger. But that's all the process of what do you call it? It's like it's almost like going through the five stages of death.
mm.
there's different stages, and it's never in the same order. um there's acceptance. I don't ask me to remember all of the stages, because yeah, my
Hmm.
brain is not fresh right now. But
I know.
yeah, the different stages you'll go through, it'll be back and forth until you get to acceptance. And then sometimes you may learn, you may have accepted some things, but there's still more work that you need to do internally.
Hmm.
And that's okay, because once you realize that there's still some healing to do within self, then you know that, okay, I see now what I need to do moving forward.
Right.
Hmm.
I thank you so much for answering that part because it's not an easy part. I find myself basically reliving my story in new ways, like really tapping into deeper, deeper, deeper parts of it that I was okay with, and came to
Hmm.
realize like I'm not okay with that.
Hmm.
And I find myself dealing with myself in different ways which I didn't deal with before. So
Hmm.
every time I tell my story, it's actually kind of like the first time again telling my story because it's always a brand new experience that
Hmm.
comes up for me.
Hmm.
And that's what I find. So that's why, like, when I'm doing my videos, especially like when it comes to YouTube, sometimes like I have to like back up a little bit. So I'm just like,
Mm.
whoa, you know, like
Yeah.
I thought I was good. Like, what is this? And I have to reacquaint myself to myself because one thing I realized is that when you're there telling your story or writing your story or even being on video, which is a whole other thing because it permits you to relive your by watching yourself tell your story again, you're pretty much battling with your inner self is battling with your outer self a lot,
Right.
and we do it without realizing it. But when we come to the point like us, we're creators, we're innovators, we're constantly
Hmm.
working on something that is going to help us go through deeper and deeper introspection. We're gonna go through this process regardless, whether we like it or
Yes,
not. We're just gonna go through it. Yeah.
absolutely. And I find that with each new endeavor that I either create or execute, um, I find that it's a different part of me that is helping me to heal through certain things that I've experienced.
Hmm.
So it's not only that I'm also helping other people, but it also helps me too,
Yeah.
each and every time, because I feel that, when you've been at a level of anguish, hurt, and pain, and although you may have graduated and you don't live in that particular space anymore, but there's still some things that you need to work on. And I feel like as long as you're living, there's always room for growth and improvement. And so while I'm on this journey, on this wellness journey, and I call it wellness journey because it's not just about what you put in your body or on your body. It's also in your mind. It's also in your spirit. And so with each project that I create, it's helping me as well, because I know that I'm helping someone else to move from where they were into a higher level. And that's what I feel my story is for. My story is to help other people to come out from where they were and rise to a higher level.
That is super awesome. I love everything that you've shared thus far. You have demonstrated your self-love journey with us. It's all about self-care, wellness. You let us know about the self-awareness, the realizations that you've made throughout the journey of creating your own anthology and how you're not only accountable for yourself, but as well as your fellow tribe, which are your authors. And then you gave us the whole self-development part, which basically showed us how you manage and cope and some mechanism that you had to utilize to not only practice patience, but also, get into your inner peace and be able to hold space and stand for your fellow author. Um, and we talked about the social aspect from earlier today, which was the question of how you feeling in the midst of the grand historical news that we shared earlier.
Mm,
So for
mm.
us, for Black people, and here we are. This was an awesome talk. Oh my goodness. I'm so moved by this discussion. It's just so special to me. So I want to take the time to say thank you to you once again for trusting me to come back on the Martine Show to share your brand new project with us. So the anthology again, guys, is Rising Crowns of Glory. You can find it at beyondajob.net. I will be
Yes.
posting it with the video on my page with the links as well. And you could always follow Shaquan Hoke at Coach Shaquan Hoke, yes, on Instagram. And she's
Yes.
also on Facebook, so look for Shaquan Hoke. And her website, once again, is beyondajob.net. Do anybody have any questions in the chat room for Shaquan before we leave? Any questions, any comments, anything you would like to say? Now is your time to drop them, just in case we have anything extra.
Yes, yes, yes. Ask me any questions, even after this video, even after this live. If you want to reach out to me, you most definitely can. And as I stated before, this is my first anthology, but it is not my last. I will be looking for new authors very soon.
You guys
So
heard
if
it.
everything that you heard, you're interested, definitely let me know.
And you don't
And
know
don't
Shaquan is serious, so because she was here already.